So I read this book, Reality Transurfing, and there are so many really interesting ways that he describes like the energetics of the universe. And so much of it has a lot of overlap with like various occult books that I've read. But this particular book really addresses it from like an energetic level. So one of the things that I think is a really, really interesting lesson from the book is the idea that we should never scorn or judge other people with intense feeling. This can be really, really, really hard if there's something we just really hate, like a quality we don't like to embody and we really hate in other people, and behavior that maybe has been done to us, and we just intensely avoid that. The issue that occurs, though, is that if we intensely attribute feelings to a particular characteristic in another person, we are unknowingly drawing that energy into our lives. So whether we're drawing that energy into our lives via other people's actions and behaviors toward us, or around us, and we're just energetically drawing it into our lives, or we are drawing it into ourselves. So let's say you are the kind of person who works really hard and you feel that you've earned everything you have, but you just have a huge distaste for people who are unemployed or don't work, or homeless people. If you feel contempt for those people on such a deep level, if you are feeling intense feelings toward those individuals, you are essentially bringing that energy into your life. You are bringing that quality into yourself, or bringing that characteristic of unemployment, or what you think is of as laziness or bad luck, or whatever it is you don't like about it, you're bringing it into your own life. So you are just asking the universe to take your job away, take your house away, take your family away, and put you in that situation to balance that energy out. If you have only dated alcoholics and the people that you've dated in the past have always had problems with drugs or substances, you might feel such a disdain toward people like that. And there's a good reason. This isn't about like not having good reasons. It's just that the universe doesn't care about your reasons. It just speaks in the language of energy. So if you feel super anti people who have substance abuse problems and you don't have any compassion toward them, you could be drawing that problem into your own life, even though you think it will never happen to you. Or you could be actually drawing other people into your life, bosses or partners, just people in your life that have these substance abuse problems. If you have consistently dated people that have one quality that you hate, and you feel such intense hatred about that quality, that is likely to be the quality that the next person you meet, you might not even think they have that quality. They might hide that quality, and they might not even know that you hate it, but it will eventually come out. It doesn't mean this is a for sure thing. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, you're like destined to always have horrible partners, but this is something to be aware of, because we want to neutralize our feelings and try to become as aloof to these intense negative emotions as we can. And it's extremely difficult, especially if you're someone who struggles with obsessive thoughts, neurosis, OCD, ADHD. It can be extremely difficult. But really working to not obsess over thoughts and not dwell on the negativity that we feel toward other people. So replaying scenarios over and over that we went through in the past with someone that really made us upset, just thinking and thinking about it over and over again, this will just bring these things into your life. So the best thing you can do is replace those feelings with feelings about other things. And one of the best remedies for negative emotions is going through different blessings in your life and trying to really spend more time focusing on the blessings in your life and feeling gratitude, because not everyone has those things. Just even the smallest things like running water, or you ate something that day, or you have a family, or you have parents, or just the smallest things that you can think of are really large things to other people. Trying to focus on that to replace your obsessive thoughts about the people that you've had bad interactions with is one way. Or preoccupying your mind by watching something, by reading something, by consuming positive content, maybe listening to a positive audiobook that rewires, like reframes your mind and gets you out of that negative perspective. Because when we start to go down this really toxic path, it really causes a lot of problems for us. And we can just be an attractant, like a magnet for all these crazy, weird experiences that will just derail our lives and take us on a different life path. So you can change your life path by changing your feelings. And this isn't like a small feat, this is really hard, but just really working toward it at least gets you on the track so that you aren't falling into the pattern, being like, why do these things keep happening to me? You really have to reframe the things that happen to you. Look for ways to be happy and feel blessed, even though it can be extremely difficult depending on your circumstance. If you're just like in the gutter, you need to look for things you can be happy about. Are you healthy? Can you breathe? Can you see? Do you have friends? Just anything you can think of to get yourself out of that toxic mentality and get yourself out of those negative, toxic, obsessive beliefs, and really do some deep breathing exercises to get yourself over some of these terrible feelings that you might be feeling. Another tip is diverting attention. So something that always used to help me when I used to feel a lot of depression is helping other people. Going and buying a coffee for a disabled veteran, going and volunteering at a local nursing home, a local homeless shelter, a local animal shelter. Because when we divert our attention and we focus on relieving the suffering of others, it's actually like a natural dopamine hit. So it's like you're helping other people and you're helping yourself. And it really diverts our attention from those negative, toxic, depressive feelings we're feeling, and helps us really get on a more positive lifeline. So I just think this is super interesting. This is something I've struggled with, is like not obsessing over things that people have done to me, negative feelings that I feel about some interaction or some experience that I've had. For some people, that might be called PTSD from like trauma you've experienced. It's something that many of us deal with, and in order to not repeat these bad experiences, it's really important to try to train yourself and train your mind and keep trying to condition yourself to be a more positive person who sees your life through a better perspective, so that you can bring more blessings into your life and experience life in a more fulfilling way.